Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and this is the Astral Library. And we're starting today off at my computer and with a scratchy as hell voice because I've been coughing all day. But that's not gonna stop us for what we have planned for this video. I am going Danmei shopping tomorrow. And I thought we would get a preliminary look at what I am gonna be kind of eyeing, as well as taking a look at what books are kind of like capturing my attention so I can determine which Barnes & Noble to go to that has the most of my collection, or like has the most like my desired pick. So I figured instead of just doing this by myself, why not do it together? And so that's what we're gonna do. I have my handy dandy notebook and a pen, and we're gonna go ahead and just browse 7Cs specifically right now. And then I do have Barnes & Noble website also pulled up, and we're just gonna kind of take a look to see what they have out, what is kind of like gathering my interest. I'm not gonna use this as like the be all end all list. I'm gonna try to pick up a few other picks besides these Danmeis, just so it's more interesting. But I do, again, want to have like an idea of like what am I thinking of. So let's go ahead and dive straight in. Okay. We are on the 7C's Danmei page. There is like a whole series tab that just like lists them all. But these names mean nothing to me, really. I like to look at the pretty covers. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and take a look at what covers they have. This website's great, like even gives you a definition of like what Danmei is and a lot of upcoming releases, which is good to know. But I'm after like the highlights. So like the first one we have here is After the Disabled God of War Becomes My Concubine. This is, it seems like it's an isekai. Yeah, a strange thesis becomes one professor's reality when he's transmigrated to the past and awakens as a doomed prince in this Danmei. Isekai Danmeis are like hit or miss for me just because sometimes the isekai genre as a whole can get a little ridiculous, and they haven't been like my favorite when it comes to Danmei. I definitely prefer more of the wuxia, or kind of like more of the high fantasy, but this one does look really interesting. Like the cover's really pretty, and you know, the professor representation, gotta get a little bit of that in here too. So I'm gonna add this to my list of potentials, and it looks like it's gonna be 4 volumes, not too long of a series. This one I have seen around, Astral Rebirth. This one is more of like a paranormal, I believe. Yeah, one human stumbles upon a mysterious man whose presence foreshadows an apocalypse. Sci-fi meets Danmei in this brand new story by Ari Zhang, also known as, I'm gonna butcher it, but they did Legends of Exorcism and Dinghai Fusheng Records. I own Legends of Exorcism, but I have not read it yet. So this one might be a fun one. I do like to get some non-wuxia Danmeis just to kind of like see what other, like just like experience other parts of the Danmei genre, because wuxia tends to be the like main genre. I think like the main like subgenre for Danmei. I'll add this as a maybe if I find it. I'm not gonna be too pressed about it just because I try not to buy too many Danmeis from authors I have not, or at least read one from, because if I don't like the person's writing, it's gonna kill the Danmei. I'm just spending money to not read books. It's like it's only gonna be a single volume too. Ooh, that maybe bumps it up because I've never read a single volume Danmei. Usually it's always been super duper long. Actually, let me double check. Yeah, it's only going to be the 1 volume. Crazy. Ballad of Sword and Wine. I think I own this one, or I was trying to get this one last time. Hold on. Okay, I did not get this, but I was trying to buy it last time I was out, but I couldn't find volume 1 anywhere. But it's really pretty. And this one is a wuxia one. We're going to try to hunt this one down because I have seen this one multiple times and I can never find volume 1. I've always found volume 2. Oh god, it's going to be a long one. This is going to be an 8 volume series. This is a Heaven Official's Blessing length, which could be great or terrible. Case file compendium. Listen. I love all of you who love this one, but everything my friend has told me about Case File, I've just been like, mainly because it follows kind of like the early 2000s yaoi phase where we have like an insanely like internalized homophobia going on, and I just can't do it. I hear it gets crazy. I hear it's really fun, but I'm not about that. I think this one's gonna be a skip for me. Copper Coins. This one's new. Copper Coins, historical fantasy Danmei, okay, so wuxia. A monk with amnesia and 2 raggedy paper dolls inhabited by a dragon and a ghost embark on a journey to reclaim their former glory. But can they endure each other long enough to find what they seek? Oh, is this like a poly one? But where's the ghost? Is the ghost the orb, or is this the coin? But this does read like it's setting itself up for poly potentially, which I'm not a fan of. I like my monogamy, but I think I'm gonna skip on this one too. Dinghai Fenxing. So this is, again, have not read Legends of Exorcism, but it also inspired a manhwa. Do they have they do. Okay, I might not pick up the novel form. I might pick up the manhwa form, just because these ones read a little faster and it will give me a taste of it without having to commit to a whole novel. In ancient China, where magic has been nearly extinguished, the two young men must work together to prevent the destruction of all of life. Set in the same universe as Legend of Exorcism. Okay, does that mean I should read Legend of Exorcism first? Or could I read it and not be worried about it? Let me know. Golden Terrace, this one's I've seen around. I've read the synopsis a couple times. It's not been anything I've been like, I need to read. Joyful Reunion. This is another one that I've seen a while, but I'm gonna be honest, I really don't like the disparity in like the ages and like how they're depicted, because he's like really young. If we're gonna talk about age difference, like they also had a pretty big age gap, but like it doesn't become an issue, like 800 years later. Versus these two, like even on the cover, he's like really, really young. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, these are the love interests, I believe. I'm gonna pass on this one. It makes me a little uncomfy. I just bought this one. I just read it recently. But I wonder, I think volume 2's already out. Let me check. Special edition, no. Oh yeah, February 24th. Cool. So I'm filming this in March. So this is already out. So I will probably have to pick it up, especially because it's only going to be 4 volumes. So I think picking up the second book will let me know if I really want to continue on with the series. My husband and I sleep in a coffin. I think I remember Kictor saying something about this. This is like a undead god or something. And I don't know. It seemed a little kind of kooky, like some of these Danmei premises can be. Cozy coffin for 2 becomes one recluse's reality when he wakes up in the frigid body of a 1,000-year-old corpse. Can he find his footing in this new body? Even then, can he survive the passionate doting of his husband and quite unhinged coffin mate? Okay, so it's not that he's sleeping. Well, I mean, I guess he is sleeping in a coffin, but he is the corpse. I do think the premise is kind of like borderline really ridiculous. It's only 2 volumes, so maybe I will pick this up and see if I enjoy it. If it's like just ridiculous enough to be funny, but also not something I have to commit long term to. Because if it was going to be like an 8 or 6 volume series, I'm out. I don't think you could sustain yourself. But 2 volumes, I might be able to read 2 volumes. Peerless, another major Danmei. One I actually have not read. Set in the universe of Thousand Autumns, which I do own. Historical wuxia. 2 rival investigators try to get to the bottom of a mystery and their own complicated feelings. I've heard pretty good things about this one. I have not read it for myself. I think if I find it and I don't already have 1,000,001 things in my basket, I might pick it up, but it's not something I'm like chomping at my bits to have. Remnants of Filth. This is again another one by, I think their like head name is like Meat Bun, but same author as the Husky is White Cat Shizun and Case File. Again, not a one I've been like super chomping at the bits to have, just because I'm not Meat Bun's biggest fan in terms of their writing. Oh, I've heard about this one. This one for sure Kictor was just talking about, and I've actually seen a few Instagram reels talking about this one. This is a contemporary Danmei, which I have not read before. Yeah, so it's one famous director rents out the rooms in his house to other gay men in hopes of writing in more realistic characters for his novels. But can he get along with these very different men long enough to finish his stories? Oh, it's the same author as Legends of Exorcism. Okay, and this is also a 2 volume. I will get this again because I like to get a spread of Danmei genres that are not wuxia, and I don't see a lot of contemporary ones. Run Wild, this is another contemporary one. 6 volumes, oh Jesus. 2 disaffected young men stuck in a rundown city discover that everything changes once they find each other. This reads more like a romance, kind of like a rom-com. It reads like it's gonna be a little slow, which is not my speed. The difference between this one and this this rom-com feels like it is gonna have a little bit more action, or not necessarily action to it, but the situation is going to drive it a little closer, versus this one, especially being a 6 volume series, is gonna like really take its time. And sometimes, while I love a slow burn slice of life can really test my patience. And I'm going to say this one's a miss for me. There's also Stars of Chaos. I see this one around. I'm not super interested in it. It's more of like a steampunk universe, I believe. It's pretty interesting in terms of its world, but not my favorite thing. Okay. Speaking of wacky premises, the disabled tyrant's beloved pet fish. I can't do it, guys. I hear it's good. Also, like the mushroom one, I hear it's really good. But there's only so much of my disbelief I can suspend. A pet fish? Really? That's what we're gonna like fall in love with? No, thank you. I don't care that the pet fish probably becomes a beautiful, beautiful man. Maybe if it turns into a manhwa, I might pick it up and read it, and maybe from the library. But I don't think I'm gonna be spending time in the novel unless that manhwa is really freaking good. Ooh, this one's coming out. The Lucky Egg Game. 2 young men must survive a deadly supernatural game in this action-packed Danmei. I don't think it's out yet though, because they would have had the cover. Yeah, August 2026. Nope, not out. Ooh, the villain's white halo. I have not seen this one before. One man's attempt to become the final boss goes completely awry when his team buff items earns him sympathy instead of fear. Up against the hero and chased by the very company who sold him the item, can he still manage to achieve his dastardly dreams? This is an isekai one through and through. It seems like it's silly, which could be fun, but I like a little more angst than silliness in my books, if you couldn't tell. Cat's divine scratchy pose. Again, I'm gonna miss it. You know, it's the same thing with the fish. I can't do it. The disbelief cannot be suspended enough. There's something wrong with the chief. Ooh, I have not seen this one. A tragic past and a deadly word of assassin spark a love that defies the fate in this fan favorite Danmei series. Xiao Lian, the youngest assassin, infiltrated the prestigious Xi household, posing as a servant. An unexpected bond forms between them. Decision lands him strike, walks free. 2 years later, their paths cross again. Okay, this one sounds interesting. Again, maybe when I'll wait for hearing a little bit more what people think about it. It feels like a very basic premise. 300 years of longing. Say more. The banquet of the winding wine ends with one nobleman falling asleep warm in his bed. When he wakes, he's shackled as a prisoner in the northern domain of Tealspire, feared by all as an archfiend. However, he's not the only one who's woken up. Okay, maybe kind of like a kidnap scenario. Where's the 300 years of longing come in though? Pampered this guy, he's an archfiend, Faye's other plans. Okay, so I guess we're trying to escape Tealspire and it begins to collapse around them. They best make an alliance. Okay, this sounds interesting. I've not heard anything about it. Let me double check it's out. Yes, it is out. Almost fully out. It's almost it's 4 volumes and the 3rd one comes out in May. This one seems interesting. I'm not like pressed to get it, but if I see it, I might grab it. Okay, this one's not an actual fish. Okay, so thrice married to a salted fish. An arranged marriage will become the perfect career opportunity for the one would-be doctor. That is, if the curve doesn't get in the way. So this one's with like a grumpy sunshine, I think, would be like the closest like romance trope we could apply to it. I think I've heard some mixed reviews on this. I think some people really like it and some people don't. It sounds like it could be fun, but it also sounds like it could be a little slow. And sometimes I don't like asshole characters. Sometimes I do like mean to everyone but me, but sometimes just mean to everyone. I'm like, I have to really like you to forgive you being that much of an asshole. So maybe. It's a maybe. Twin Jades of Jeondong. Set in the Three Kingdoms era comes a story of childhood friends and that changes their relationship faces in the midst of war. From Legends of Exorcism. Jesus Christ, how many books has this person written? It's gonna be a no for me. I'm not a huge fan of like childhood friends to lovers. Okay, and then You've Got Mail. The Perils of Pigeon Pose. Mature rated. They're all kind of mature rated. It's a raunchy romantic comedy about ancient singles. The raunchy has me hesitating. I like sex in books. I like sex in my Danmeis. But raunchy implies that there's going to be like a gratuitous amount of it. And I don't necessarily love the focus on like virginity in singles. It tends to give cringe for me and just like upholding like societal ideas about sex, which is a whole conversation we could have. We're not gonna have right now. I think I'm gonna skip this one. And that's the end of all that Seven Seas has. I'm gonna now go ahead and look at what Barnes & Nobles has, like a good chunk of the ones I am thinking about. And then from there, I'm gonna go shopping and take you guys along with me. It's not too busy and like people don't stare at me as I'm trying to record. And I will pick some of these Danmeis up, and then we will come back and talk about which ones I actually managed to get my hands on and what other ones I found that were really interesting. I'm trying to go with a monetary limit in mind. So I don't know if we'll get all the ones I was thinking about, but I'm going to try to get like a good number of them. But my throat is mad at me. So I'm going to go ahead and go, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, y'all, we have secured the bag and we bought so many books. We bought a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books. I was gonna do a haul in here, but it's really hot and it's kind of miserable in here. But I am happy to say that they had all the ones I wanted in stock, which I knew going in, and I had to be very, very strict with myself because I wanted to buy so many more things. But your girl already spent like $120, more like $130. So we're gonna be good. We're gonna go home and we'll do the haul there. I am gonna buy myself some lunch because I'm hungry, and I was gonna get a drink in there, but I started to realize how hungry I was because I haven't eaten this morning, and I was like, I need food. And nothing in there like looked super great. So we're gonna go to McDonald's, treat ourselves, because why not? So I'm gonna go do that, and I'll meet you guys back at home so we can go over what books I got and what is the one novel that I got, because I did in fact buy a novel. I can't help myself. Only so much self-control. All right, we are back home. I have finished my lunch, and now it is time to go over what books I got from Barnes & Noble. There are, like I said, a lot of books here. I did go a little crazy, but not too crazy. Not too crazy. Not too insane. We're gonna start off with a novel that I got because it's like the odd one out. But it is one I've been hearing a lot about, and the cover is gorgeous, and I needed to have it. Plus, I wanted to be in my horror era, so we're trying books out. And the one I grabbed is Between Two Fires by Christopher Wellman. Did I say that right? Who knows? But this is a medieval horror about a knight who gets whispers from one of the dead body, or like someone who's dying of the plague, and they essentially say like, this is actually the work of like devils, and like he's trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. That's all I know. I'm trying to go into this blind, but I've been obsessed with this cover. It's something about the medieval script. It's the red with the black, I don't know, but it's like itching all the bright parts of my brain, and I needed to have it. That's the odd one out. You guys are here for the Danmei, so let's do the Danmei plus the one not Danmei. You'll see what I mean. So first up, I got Mistakenly Saving the Villain, Volume 2. I just read Volume 1, so this is pretty fresh in my mind, so I want to continue with it pretty soon. It's an easy read about a man who is isekai'd into essentially like medicine god, and he ends up saving someone who is going to become the villain because they want revenge on the world for what was done to them. Then I got River Bay Road, Men's Dormitory. So this one we read about together. Also, I think there's gonna be some like familial elements, because if you look right there, we have a guy with a baby, which I'm hoping this is really cute. The cover alone is like adorable, so I'm hoping it will be cute. I think it's also only like 2 volumes. Then I got After the Disabled God of War Became My Concubine. This one I did end up finding. Again, professor representation. It looks gorgeous. Something about reds really called to me this year. I don't know why, but they just do. Also an isekai one, so I'm hoping it will be good. Or transmigration. I don't know if they well, isekai is a Japanese version. Transmigration I think would be more of like the American translate or the English translated term, but whatever. Then I got Bowing to Love, The Noble and the Gladiator by Saki Aida. This one is one that's not it is not there is 7 Seas, but it's their romance rather than their Danmei imprint. It's their airship. This one just seemed really, really cute. It gives me not quite necessarily Captive Prince vibes, other than maybe their looks, but I don't know. I saw this one previously and I was unsure if it was a BL, but it is a BL. So I'm excited. I'm hoping this is really, really cute because they look beautiful, and I'm obsessed with this cover, if I'm honest with you. Like, look at the way he's kissing his thigh. Oh, I hope it's good. I hope it's really, really good. Then I got the comic version of Dinghai Funsheng Record. So this is by the same author who did Legends of Exorcism. They ended up writing a fucking shit ton, but it is the comic, so it's fully colored panels. I wanted to try this out because I didn't know if I wanted to read too many books, because also I believe these same author, so I'm already gonna have 3 books of theirs that I have not read any of them. So I thought this would be a good thing to pair it with. So I have 2 books I can read plus a comic to kind of get through. And last but not least, I think the term is Bahe? Let me look that up, because I don't actually know the term for this, but it is the female equivalent to Danmei. Bahe, I think, maybe? But it is a GL, or Girls Love. This one is The Beauty's Blade, and I've never read any of them before. I did get a comment on my beginner's guide Danmei video, which was asking for more GL alternatives to Danmei. So I'm gonna read this one and let you guys know what I think. I think this might be one of the ones they commented on, or one of the ones they commented that they read. So I'm excited to read it. I'm hoping I'm going to love it. This is also by 7 Seas, which is just kind of like the big publisher for Danmei, which, you know, I'm happy about. For all my Danmei lovers, here is the final stack of all the Danmeis I got in this video. There are 6 of them. I am set on Danmei for a while. I have so much to read, so much I'm really excited for, and this is not counting the ones I've got for my birthday, so we're just going to do a Danmei reading vlog, like a specific Danmei reading vlog, because I have so many now that I need to get to that we're gonna have to make it a priority. And it may or may not be coming after this video, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. That's gonna go ahead and be it for me. I have a house to clean and so many things to do, so we unfortunately have to end this video here. I hope you enjoyed getting to like online bookshop with me and then actually bookshop with me and to see the final haul. But like I said, that's gonna be it for me. If you like this video, please consider leaving a comment and a thumbs up down below. Let me know if you've read any of these Danmeis, which ones I should start with, which ones I absolutely must read first, because like I said, I am doing a Danmei vlog, so put them in the comments down below. Give me the recommendations, give me the reading order. But like I said, that's gonna be it for me. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.